It's David Dominé, the Bluegrass Peasant. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today. I'm getting ready to make a batch of one of my all-time favorite pork dishes, and it's green chili pork. If any of you have been to Mexico or New Mexico, you probably have had this. It's a very popular dish. Chunks of pork that are simmered in a green chili sauce. And I'm going to make a version that I developed a while back, kind of based on the Mexican preparation. Use lots of jalapeños and poblano chili in the sauce. It's pretty easy, so if you're ready, let's get started. Thanks again for joining me today. To start off, you're going to need olive oil, salt, a medium red, a medium yellow onion, about 5 pounds of pork, I like a fattier cut, some tequila, and the salsa verde, or the green sauce. You'll also want about 2 teaspoons of dried ground cumin and 2 teaspoons of Mexican oregano. You put this in at the end. I'm using my homemade green chili salsa, and you can find the recipe here as well. But if you'd rather, use a jarred variety, like this. So, like I said, I like to use a fattier cut of pork. Pork steak works really well, and it's very affordable. So we're going to start by trimming off the biggest pieces of fat, removing the bones from the pork steaks, and then cutting the meat into maybe roughly 1-inch chunks. So the meat is ready, and now it's time to transfer this to a hot pan where we've been heating up our olive oil. I like to use a Dutch oven or a very deep skillet. Just make sure whatever cooking pot you're using, there's enough room for all the liquid that's going to come in after this. Then sprinkle with the 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and then stir the meat so it browns. This is going to take 10 or 15 minutes. Stir every now and then. Keep it uncovered so the moisture doesn't condense. And once all sides are brown, you can go to the next step. Roughly chop your onions while the meat is browning. And whatever you do, don't throw the scraps away. Don't waste anything. I like to take the bones and the scraps, add it to a saucepan with about 4 cups of water, and then the peelings from the onions. And then I cook that for about an hour with a little salt and a bay leaf, and you've got a wonderful broth that you can use. About 2 cups of this flavorful broth you can use in rice. You can save it for a soup, use it to deglaze a pan, and make sauce. As you can see, the meat has browned nicely, so stir it a bit and let's get ready for the next step. And that is to add your chopped onions. Stir and let the onions sweat for about 10 minutes. Now add the tequila. I like to use at least a 1/4 cup. Usually I add a whole cup, and then you're going to let it reduce. So it's cooked about 5 minutes and about half of the tequila has evaporated. So now it's time to add the salsa. I add 2 cups first, stir, and I let it cook for 5 or 10 minutes. And then I add in the next 2 cups. Once you have everything combined, add in the oregano and cumin, stir, and let cook. And then after about 2 hours of simmering on very low heat, uncovered, you should end up with something like this. The sauce has intensified, caramelized a bit, and the pork has started to really fall apart tender. And then it's time to enjoy. I like to garnish it with radishes and cilantro. And I will serve it with steamed white rice. Also with a fresh salad, with iceberg lettuce or romaine, refried beans or charro beans, homemade tortillas, flour or corn are both good. Enjoy! Buen provecho. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen.